You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh. You too can hear your own original music here on IOL. Visit our website for details, indieoriginals.com, or swing by our Facebook page at Indie Originals. Chuck Fresh with Indie Originals Live. Give an update on our competition. A lot of people didn't understand the music part of the competition because it's film, it's literature, it's talent, and it's music for indie musicians. So people are saying, hey, what's the deal with this thing? Well, let me tell you what happens. When you enter our contest, the music portion of it, as an indie musician with an original song, original composition, we will consider you for airplay on our national radio broadcast, now on over 15 stations all throughout the United States, and also our global podcast, which airs online on YouTube, on Spotify. It's everywhere you can find Stitcher, I don't even know, iTunes. It's everywhere. That podcast lives forever. So your song, your creation will be available globally to anybody in the world who streams podcasts. And also it airs Friday nights, I think 9 Eastern, on 15 stations all across the United States. So that's a massive exposure for entering our contest. People who enter the contest are prioritized over everybody else. So right now, I have so many entries that those are going on our show first. We're featuring those first. So if you enter our music competition, you got a great chance of being on our radio show /podcast. Number two, once you're on that radio show, we're going to tag you on Facebook. We're going to tag you on Instagram. We're going to tag you on Twitter if you have a Twitter. And we're going to add your song to our Spotify playlist. All those things give you a little bit more traction to help you get where you want to go. And since it's our first year, there's not as many people entering this year. It's going to be huge next year. But you get in this year, you're going to get yourself probably a much better chance of getting an award this year. And you can call yourself an award-winning songwriter. And that gives you some marketing gravitas. Do you know what I'm talking about? Every little bit helps, right? So enter now, www.indieoriginalslive.com. You get all this, like a big marketing package for such a small piece of change. I think it's $19. And you can enter multiple categories too to increase your chance of winning. And again, we're a 501c3 nonprofit charity, and our organization is going to do some great work in our community to help kids and musicians chase their dreams, to be an indie creator of some sort, either a filmmaker, a musician, or an author, or just general talent, choreography, all kinds of other stuff I can't even mention. I can't think. It's just so broad. It's incredible. We're going to try to help everything with our nonprofit. And also it helps to keep our radio station, our radio program growing. And hopefully we'll be able to take it to 2, 3. This thing really needs to be 4 hours with all the contestants coming in. We want to talk to the musicians and do interviews too. So all these funds that come in from the competition will help us do those really cool things. Chuck Fresh, Indie Originals. Check it out, www.indieoriginalslive.com. And listen to the show if you haven't done that. You can check that out at indieoriginals.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. God, I don't even know where we are. Everywhere. iTunes, we're everywhere. You'll find us. Search Indie Originals. We'll pop up for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And hopefully we'll listen to your music soon.
The 2019 Indie Originals Talent Competition with Jake Estrada and Chuck Fresh. Music, movies, books, and talent. Indie Originals. There is no substitute.
Hey, Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live. We're here with... Is it May or Mai?
It's May. It's May. It's a commonly mistaken as Mai, but we're currently working on getting all that figured out. But it is May.
Now, you recently won something called the Mai Tai Rumble. Does it have anything to do with your name?
No, sadly. And also, we didn't win. We got second place, which was sad.
Well, second place, eh?
I think we're going to go for first this year, so... Yeah, first.
What did you get first?
We got first runner-up. Sounds better.
We won first at Finn's, though, at the Battle of the Bands. We did win the Battle of the Bands.
They're award-winning, ladies and gentlemen. So a little bit of background on, well, we're here on a casino ship. You can probably hear all that stuff in the background. It's a neat little place. Pretty good little crowd. They brought a lot of people with them all the way from Daytona, so props out for that. There's not a lot of bands that have that kind of pull.
I didn't think we did either.
It's awesome. So we've been trying to connect with these guys for over a year.
Yeah.
A couple of times some things happened, but we finally made it. That's the important thing. So we're happy we can finally sit down with these local legends. So let's start with May. You started performing at the age of 5 years old.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that. I mean, how did all this performing start with you?
Performing started with me. Well, my grandfather gave me a guitar at a really young age, and I started playing guitar when I was like super, super young, like you said, like 5 years old. But I really started getting into like full performance at about 13 years old when I joined like live performance groups in Orlando and things like that. And I know you've been following me for a while now, so I bet you've probably seen when I was like just getting started, and it was pretty intense. I remember just a lot of dancing before I ever really got singing. So
that was the thing. So you started out you started playing guitar with your grandfather. He was teaching you chords on the porch, right?
Yeah, definitely. I remember I was really young, and my grandfather, he had like really bad arthritis in his hands, so he used guitar to it just kept his hands moving, and he didn't want to do it alone. So as like a kid and loving my grandfather so much, I was like, well, I'll play guitar with you. And so we would sit out on the front porch and we would just play guitar and learn like basic chords like C's and G's and A's and E's, and we'd do it over and over again. We never really learned any song in particular, but we would just sit there and like awkwardly strum a guitar. And he passed away when I was 7. And, and like, I kind of wanted to keep doing it as like a memory thing. And I just kept going and going and going. And I'm here now, thanks to him.
So I understand you play like 8 different instruments. Is that true? Or tell us what you don't play. Maybe it's easier to do that.
I play guitar, ukulele, piano, violin, a little bit of violin, not enough. And a little bit of mandolin. Wow. Yeah, and I think that's all. I think that's all I do play, but I dabble in everything else. So. You
play drums?
Not yet.
So there's no threat there. I don't think we'd have a problem. That's good. We're good to go. So you guys all got together. Like, tell me the story of Moonlight Drive-In. How did you guys kind of find each other and become who you are now? Who wants to take that?
I think that'll be half and half between me and Greg on the other side of you there. We kind of found each other in March of last year, and it just started out as a duo thing, and we decided that we wanted to make it a whole band, and we went out and got these guys, and it's been a pretty good family, but I think he can kind of tell you the other half of that story.
Who are you? What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Greg Davidson. I'm the guitar player for Moonlight Drive-In. I also do backup vocals and try to handle sound whenever we have to run sound ourselves. So kind of try to do a little bit of everything for the band, writing and arranging, doing that kind of stuff. May and I actually met before we ever thought about Moonlight Drive-In. We met at Hamburger Mary's in Daytona. They used to do an open mic on Monday nights there. And it was when I first moved to Daytona and didn't know anybody or any of the musicians. So I went to one of these open mics, ran into May there, we said hi, and we were like, yeah, we should like jam sometime. Never thought anything about it until 3 years later when it actually happened, and they had a spot open up with the duo and needed another guitarist, and so I was probably first or second to respond because I was like, yes, me, please. And now here we are.
What'd you do before this?
Before this, I was in the Navy for 10 years, and when I moved down to Daytona, I started it was after I got out of the Navy, started my own business and just sort of started dabbling around in the music scene until I got fully involved in that and decided to stop working outside of music and started going to Daytona State College for music production technology. So I dove headfirst in, and this is my life now.
Are you still in school?
Yes, I have about 1 year left before I finish my degree at Daytona State.
And what are you going to do when you grow up?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, see? Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to promote through our foundation, Indie Originals Live. We're trying to make things like this a reality? Because so many people are like, well, I have to keep a day job and this is just a hobby, but why shouldn't it be a full-time profession, right?
It's one of those things you really have to, he's in the same boat with me on this one, where you kind of have to make that jump where if you want to be professional with it, you really do kind of have to shed everything else, because as long as you're doing everything else, you won't be able to devote your full sense of self to the craft.
So this guy hits things with sticks for a living? Yeah. Why don't you introduce us to him?
My name is Shane. I play drums. I play bass and guitar too, but I'm a drummer. Yeah. We were actually in a band together when they hooked up, and when their drummer quit, he was like, call Shane, and I joined this band, and it gave me the opportunity to quit my day job and actually go full time in it. So, yeah.
Dreamboat. We're on a dreamboat.
Yeah, you got to see it right after we got everything fully polished. It's just now coming together, like everybody's visions came together once we all four started jamming. Yeah. Heating and air conditioning. Yeah, I worked with my dad's company, crawling under houses in attics. I was over that. Yeah, but I played music my whole life. I've been playing in clubs and bars since I was like 11. Yeah, I got my first drum set was a joke. My grandparents gave it to me for my first birthday, and I've never not had a drum set since then. Yeah.
Glad you guys are finding your dreams. We have another member of Moonlight Drive-In. Why don't you tell us who this guy is? He's just hanging around, or?
This is our bassist, Greyson.
Hello, I'm Greyson Belcher. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I moved to Florida around 2009. And we lived up in Palm Coast for a little while, and then we moved to Orlando. And I only recently joined the band last year around I want to say like May-ish, like April, May. And, they were looking for a bass player, and I've had recent experience in bass. I've been playing guitar most of my life, so it wasn't much of a struggle to kind of change that way of how I play instruments. I mean, it's a string instrument. I kind of just picked it up and went from there. And then most people do move to Nashville to be a musician, but it's a little bit backwards in my position, from Nashville to Florida, but yeah. There are a lot of people in Nashville. There's a lot of people trying to be really popular musicians, and a lot of them are, but it's really, that's where everyone struggles to be a musician, because everyone's trying to do it. There's no leeway there. You got to really be on your game over in Nashville. So yeah. But
either they pay a lot or don't pay at all in Nashville too, so.
Yeah, Nashville is a hard place to get anywhere, but I've been lucky and fortunate enough to be a part of this band to go as far as I have. I've been a part of other bands before, but they had their struggles, they had their problems, but you live and you learn. You go through every experience one at a time, and sooner or later you'll find your place, and you'll be able to fit where you're supposed to, and then your career starts there.
Great words, man. These guys are the real deal. They're the next big thing. We called it about a year ago on our radio show, didn't we? For real. And it's happening. So I'm an introvert. And you wouldn't believe that. And I understand that you were or are an introvert. So tell us how you kind of overcome that and do what you're doing standing in front of millions of people.
Well, not only am I an introvert outside of the music stuff, I also have really bad social anxiety. And I used to deal with crippling stage fright. And it was actually in performance programs and dance classes where I really broke that on stage. If you catch me anywhere other than a gig, I will run and hide. But I think at shows, it's became almost a personality switch. I'm okay, I'm at work. I can't run and hide from everybody. They're gonna wanna talk to me. I'm the band, I have to be casual. And it was kind of the stand in front of the mirror and tell it to yourself every morning until you can fix yourself kind of situation. And but I definitely am an introvert, 100%. I'll say it. I don't do people stuff.
You hide it really well. I mean, I'm the same way too. If I don't have a microphone in front of me, I'm the guy in the corner trying to hide from everything. So I completely understand. But man, you're killing it. Now, Somebody told us that you were a 5-time gold medal ice skater. Do you guys know this?
All like that. I didn't. I had no.
You guys knew that? Did you know that?
She's been hiding the fact that she got medals about.
Tell us, like, ice skating? Tell us about, where's Mom? Why is she hiding?
She's running. She's hiding.
She's trying to hide. All right, tell us about the 5-time gold medal.
I think I won more than 5 gold medals, actually. I think in total over the 3 years I did figure skating, I won, I'm gonna guesstimate like 25 gold medals in state. But these were at multiple different competitions over like a span of 3 years. And I won way more second and third and so forth places before I ever, really got good enough at figure skating to win for first place at pretty much everything I entered. But I thank my coach for that. I had a really amazing coach. I was coached by a woman named BJ Shu at the Maitland RDV ice rink, and she is like really amazing. She works at an ice rink where they train Olympians. So I mean, I gotta give it to her. She was all of the oomph behind my skating, and she really is the person who won those medals. It was all her skating on my feet.
I don't know about that. I mean, you got to execute it. So, was your intention to go to the Olympics? I mean, where were you headed, and why did you stop?
I didn't want to do Olympics. That was kind of all my friends' goals, but I wanted to go into like show skating and do like performances at like Disney and things like that. But I ended up stopping because the passion with music really pulled me more, and especially being an alternative artist, I guess my look didn't quite fit figure skating. I guess it would be like a heavy metal artist doing ballet. Sure. But I still have all my friends in figure skating, but I definitely wanted to go with more music than the figure skating. I guess the passion was there just because like it's what I grew up with instead of just a hobby that I had acquired.
Do you think that someday, if these guys are on board, you could take Moonlight Drive-In on ice?
I think that would be kind of cool. But but I don't think Shane would ever want to strap blades to his feet.
Skates.
Quads, I'm not going to put blades on. If I don't want to skate on quads, they're talking about shooting a music video in the future and a roller skate. I was like, well, y'all can just skate around my drum riser then, because I can't skate. And I used to work at Sonic. I can't skate. I know I can't skate.
We could put you like on this big pedestal in the middle and kind of skate around you.
What you're saying, yeah, that's the
Put
plan.
that on wheels, have them guys spinning me around or something, just anything but the embarrassing footage that would come with me putting.
So you guys are down with that, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you roller skate?
I can rollerblade. I have never skated on just the 4 wheels, but I can do the blades. I guess that was just me used to the blades on my feet already.
Roller skate?
I can skate a little bit. I grew up on that.
We already have the skating rink. We have the skating rink kind of booked. Preliminary booking is taking place so we can shoot our next music video for a song we just recorded at Full Sail University called Rocket Ship.
So tell us about this new, is it an EP, a full LP? What are we looking at here? We've got all new songs by, like all originals?
Yes, all originals. We're looking at a 3 to 5 song EP is what we're aiming for. Just a couple of songs to really put them out there. Because right now all we really have out is like what we would consider our demos. Nothing really solid we've put out yet. So, but we're definitely aiming for a 3 to 5 song EP and then maybe an album in the future. Maybe.
We're psyched. We can't wait to hear it. Who's writing all this stuff?
Me and Greg actually do most of the writing, but we all write together. We all take part in it. There have been many different sessions where we've sat down and we're like, so who took credit for this one? And we're like, Moonlight Drive-In. We definitely think the band writes the songs together instead of, just one individual person.
Are you guys producing your own stuff?
For the most part. We mainly record at Full Sail University. They've been gracious enough to give us some free studio time over the past couple of years, and we've definitely been taking them up on that, and it's been absolutely amazing. But Greg has actually talked about us maybe doing some of our own production in the future, yeah.
What? Who has produced stuff? You have produced Major League stuff before?
I At Daytona State College, I had a class where I was given basically the whole entire studio that we had for a few hours to do whatever we wanted for a project. And my partner in my class that I had on my group said, hey, do you want to do one of your band's songs? So I immediately jumped on top of the idea, told the band, hey, we're going to track the last song we tracked was Waffle Home, and we had just written it. So we were really excited to get in the studio and actually kind of have full control and know exactly what we were going to go in and do. And pretty much what we had in mind before we went into the studio and what we came out with on the other end was really on par with it was really cohesive because we had our hands on it so much compared to when we're at Full Sail. Sometimes we'll get other students and other professors working on it, which is great because we get a little feel for each person's individual style and the touch that they put on our song. But it was really nice to have all that control ourselves and be able to go, hey guys, what do you not like about this? And just be able to chop it ourselves. So.
What about music videos? You thinking about doing music videos too?
I think they had just mentioned we do have some music video stuff in the works. The
roller skate.
Yeah, with the roller skating rink.
That's real.
That's real. That's real.
I thought you guys were kidding.
I was at first. I was kidding when I came up with the idea, kind of half-heartedly kidding, and then everybody was like, yeah, that would be cool. And
it would be really cool.
I know the people at
Sandra said, I know the people to contact to make this happen. And the next day she called me back and said, hey, guess what? We're going to do it.
So it's going to happen.
When we won the Battle of the Bands at Finn's, we won the cash prize and also came with a professional music video shoot. So we're going to be doing that one. I believe we're going to do all the live footage at Hamburger Mary's, and then we're going to do some other stuff. We got to get with the producer of the video, but so we have 2 coming out relatively soon.
I'm almost smelling a documentary coming up about this. I mean, there's a lot of stories, a lot of really cool individual stories there. This is really the story of the indie musician trying to break through and find out how to turn this thing into a career, and you guys are pulling it off. I'm proud of y'all. So what's coming up next in competition-wise, besides the Indie Originals music competition you guys have entered?
We have been asked to return to the Mai Tai Rumble in Daytona Beach.
They're going to call that the Mai Tai Rumble, I think. Then they're going to...
That would be pretty crazy if they did.
When does that happen?
It's later this year. I can't remember if it's September or October. It's both of those. It runs in between the two. But we've been invited back for that, and we're really excited. We're going to be entering in both categories this year instead of just one.
What 2 categories?
We're going to be entering in the originals category and the covers category.
Wow, and can people on the internet vote for this, or do you have to be there?
Sadly, you do have to be there for it, yeah.
Well, that's cool. We'll keep puzzle. Where do we find out more? Did you want to say something?
I was saying you could watch it. They do record the session live for the battle.
Well, where do we find more about you guys? Oh, wait, hold on.
The website is moonlightdriveinaofficial.com. I'll give you a card if you haven't already got a card. And social networking, Facebook, follow us on there, and I don't know, Twitter and Instagram. I think we have too. I'm not sure. I don't
know. The Facebook is Moonlight Drive-In, and the website again is moonlightdriveinaofficial.com, and the Instagram I believe is Moonlight Drive-In Official.
We'll link to all that stuff from our site too underneath the interview here in the video too.
We also have a profile on Reverb Nation and on SoundCloud, and I think we've started putting a few songs up on Bandcamp. So the original material that we have recorded so far is on those streaming platforms.
Is it a pain in the butt to get on Spotify?
I think so.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What about iTunes?
Equally as hard. Any of the big music platforms, there's a lot of hoops to jump through to get your music up there, and especially to be sent the checks for the people that listen to it. So.
Do we have a SoundCloud? Okay, well, if you get enough hits on SoundCloud, it automatically puts it on Spotify, is what the guy was telling me last night.
Things are happening right now that you don't even know about. It's automated now. Moonlight.
In real time.
Thank you for coming out. So we've got Mäi Tatro, Greg Davidson, Greyson Belcher, and Shane, is it Hager?
Hager, yes.
And make sure we got on your name. Thank you for talking to us today. Thank you for performing. We're going to hang out and see you guys do another show before we get out of here tonight. It's not like we can get off the boat anyway. It's a captive audience. This is like the perfect way to just demo your new music. Well, thanks, guys. You guys are kicking butt tonight. And congratulations on making this a living. It's so good. This is what people want to hear. This is what people want to know, but that it is possible, and these guys are pulling it off. Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live. More on Mäi Tatro and Moonlight Drive-In. Check out the links below, down here somewhere. We out. We'll see y'all soon.
This is IOL.
It is an original. It is one of our new originals. It's called Waffle Home. And you guys can find it online on our website or our Facebook or Reverb or Bandcamp or pretty much any platform you get your music from, except for, I think, Spotify and iTunes.
We'll get there. We'll
The
get
big
there, baby
ones.
steps.
We're working on the big ones next.
Hey all, Big J in the house. The Lord has a special place in his heart for indie music. That's why he hath bestowed upon thee Indie Originals Live, the award-winning #1 podcast for indie music. He and I have blessed that Felicia and her sidekick, Chuck Fresh, with the gift of recognition. These fine souls have the unique gift of being able to choose the most amazing indie music on earth. It's biblical, man. Look, don't take my word for it. Listen for yourself. Indie Originals Live. Available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, and everywhere great podcasts are heard. Thanks, y'all. Bless you. Jesus out.
Do is an original. It is one of our new originals. It's called Waffle Home. And you guys can find it online on our website or our Facebook or Reverb or Bandcamp or pretty much any platform you get your music from, except for, I think, Spotify and iTunes.
We'll get there.
We'll get the big baby steps. We're working on the big ones next.
You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh. You too can hear your own original music here on IOL. Visit our website for details, indieoriginals.com, or swing by our Facebook page at Indie Originals.
This next song we're going to play is by request. It's an original song that May wrote a long time ago, and we just started playing it as a band recently. It's one of my favorite songs that we do now, actually. What? Dang, Shane's talking trash. This one's called Blind and Broken. Here it goes.
everybody.
The 2019 Indie Originals Talent Competition with Jake Estrada and Chuck Fresh. Music, movies, books, and talent. Indie Originals. There is no substitute.
Hello, my darling, why don't you?
IndieCon 2019 happens right here, June 15th, 2019, in beautiful Central Florida on this wicked big stage. Professional sound, professional lights, bigger than the Grammys, bigger than the CMAs. It's all happening right here. Get your entries in now. Film, music, literature, talent, right here. Bring it. June 15th, 2019, IndieCon. See you here.
IndieCon is going to be the #1 event happening June 15th here in the beautiful Melbourne Auditorium. So I suggest you guys hurry up, sign up, get your ballots in. What I'm talking about, ballots? No, I'm talking about competition. If you don't get this thing done, I'm telling you guys, I'll come and smack you.
You have a choice, filmmaker. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Your film remains where it remains. You take the red pill. You enter Wonderland, and Indie Originals shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Enter the Indie Originals Film Competition at indieoriginalslive.com. Lauren Ettinger is a photographer, cosplayer, model, and a creative entrepreneur dedicated to inspiring those around her. With an exquisite eye for the arts, she's captured many memories for others and idolized the beauty in life. Because of her experience as a model, Lauren knows what it feels like to be on the other side of the camera and how to work with photographers, making her very open and friendly with those she works with. Lauren's a member of several charity groups in the area, such as Costumers with a Cause, Guardians of Justice, and Agents of Mirth. Meet Lauren Ettinger live at IndieCon 2019 on June 15th. More information at www.indieoriginalslive.com. Jamie Engel is the author of dark thrillers for teens, where magic turns ordinary into extraordinary. She weaves history, magic, and lore into her books, which take readers on wondrous adventures. Though her passion is talking to kids about writing and social issues because words have power. She loves coffee, cosplay, podcasting, and making Wick Books candles inspired by scents from her novels. She talks to students about literacy and anti-bullying all over Central Florida. And she'll be at IndieCon 2019 on June 15th. Meet author Jamie Engel and hear her powerful words at IndieCon. Tickets on sale now. Look,
I'm not going to lie. We have very vivid and active imaginations. I mean, we make movies. But you can't deny there is something weird in this AMC movie theater in VR. Look at this thing goes right by me and I'm staring at it. I saw a flash. Check it out. This is how it happened.
Hey guys, Jake Estrada here with Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live. www.indieoriginalslive. What is Indie Originals, you say? Indie Originals is the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's right, I said sliced bread. And here we are in this beautiful movie theater. Your theater, I said, that's right. And your movie could be shown in this theater, which could be your theater. And what is Indie Originals?
I mean, check it out. I saw this flash out of the corner of my eye. I didn't see this until I reviewed the video, but what is that, man? I'm following it.
It's a movie competition. It's a literary contest. It's everything. But what we're looking for right now are original movies. And what do you say, Chuck? How many categories do we have again, you said?
I think over 100 categories.
100 categories, guys. From horror, action, anime, we have all types of things. Even screenplays. And what about some of those trailers that we saw?
Again, check this out. There's a little one here. It kind of flies out of my chin. Looks kind of flying like out of my chin. And it makes this 90-degree turn and kind of shoots upward. This is bizarre. I mean, it could be a piece of dust, but I don't know, man. And check this one out.
For sure.
This is the horror. Look at the bigger one on the bottom right. Check this out. Look at him. He's kind of dawdling along. And that could be dust, too. Who knows? It was dark in there.
352?
And people
Seriously?
can come to this theater in Central Florida and take a look at your beautiful production right here.
Huge screens, guys.
If you're one of our big winners. Now, you got to enter before March 31st of
March
2019
31st.
at www.indieoriginalslive.com. Before March 31st, our finals are June 15th, 2019, right here in Central Florida. Man, this theater is amazing.
I know, it's huge. I mean, I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to see your film, man, on this huge screen.
Get them in now.
And look at this popcorn. Oh, this beautiful popcorn. We could be eating this popcorn, guys, watching your film. So don't be lame. Enter.
Today, check out the massive amount of categories. You've got a really good chance to win. Plus, it's our first year, so we won't have a ton of entries. We have a lot, but we won't have thousands.
So it's your chance today, because next year,
it's going to be a lot harder to win.
It's going to be hard. You're going to be in the line. You're going to be crying. You're going to be like, I should have listened to Jake and Chuck, man. So come on, guys.
So get your laurels this
year.
Do it
today.
www.indieoriginalslive.com.
Peace. Woo!
All right, look, we got to come back here. The AMC Viera movie theater. Come see for yourself, man. Maybe you'll see something we didn't, but it's spooky, man.
This is IOL. You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh.
Welcome back to Indie Originals Live. We're a radio show and podcast that broadcasts on 11 radio stations all across the country and a global podcast audience that's well into the thousands, featuring the most amazing indie music on earth. We handpick what we think are the best indie songs in the world in any given moment, and we share them with you. Our response has been pretty phenomenal. So first of all, thank you, loyal listeners, for that. It's so cool that you're doing this. You're following us. You're sharing us. So thank you again. And please continue to do so. Let's help make this thing bigger and greater than it already is. So we met with our music promoter friends this week. We had an interesting conversation that led to something I thought was kind of magical. You might think differently, but I thought it was kind of magical. So this week we created the first ever Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition. That's right, a competition. And check this out. This is a way to help artists become recognized for their talent rather than their fans, followers, or even funding. The thing is, we've seen a lot of artists climb to the top of certain charts who, I'm going to say this very gently, with no disrespect intended, probably shouldn't be at the top of those charts, if you know what I mean. If you listen to some of this stuff, you're like, whoa, what is he doing there? What is she doing there? And creative success has always been kind of a popularity contest. What the Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition aims to do is reward talent based on talent alone. That's right. If you're talented, we want to share that with the world. If you got a killer song and only 152 Facebook fans, you could still win first prize in this Indie Originals Live music category. If you film the most beautiful movie in history, but you only have 47 YouTube views, we don't care. It doesn't matter. You could still bring home first place in the Indie Originals Live film competition. So this is what it's all about. It's fair. It's objective. It's all about talent, and this thing is global. And check this out. We'll have a regional ceremony to announce the winners each year. And the first one will be in June 2019 near Orlando, Florida. What's really cool about the local ceremony is we'll announce our national and global winners, but then we'll also have separate categories for local artists, bands, and filmmakers. So that's right. We bring the local community and get them involved. So maybe a certain local artist isn't ready to compete on the national or global stage just yet. Well, that's no worries, because the Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition will recognize the region's best talent too. So there's separate categories for regional and then national and global talents. It's really the best of all worlds, really the best in the world, if you think about what we're doing here. First time this has ever been done. And what's even cooler is that music finalists will be played right here on this radio program for a national audience and also be featured on our podcast for our global audience. So talk about exposure. There's no other indie music contest that offers this level of exposure. And again, we don't care if you don't have any social media presence at all. I don't care if you don't have a website. If you're some guy with a guitar or some girl that just likes to sing beautiful indie music, all we care about is your talent. Consider the playing field leveled. Think about it. This is really a brilliant opportunity for any budding musician to get the exposure they need to move to the next level. Oh, and the ceremony, get this. This is just everything, just the stars all aligned perfectly. We just happen to know some of the most amazing premier event planners on earth. Just happen to live in our neighborhood, and we just by chance just know who they are, and we're really super friends. So people who produce these very big shows you've heard of, and they've always wanted to produce this award ceremony that looks something like the CMAs or the Grammys. They've always wanted to do something like this. So we've given them complete creative control to produce something even better. We've already seen the preliminary plans, and our minds are already blown, and yours will be too. Wow. I'm talking wow. The space is already booked. The deposit's down. The wheels are in motion for the 2019 awards ceremony that will happen June 15th near Orlando, Florida. It's already happening, people. We've already set this thing up and wheels are in motion. So it's going to happen. So you need to be involved in this thing. You need to know about it. You need to share it. You need to tell other people, and you need to be involved in this as an indie musician. The IOL Music, Film, and Talent Competition will begin accepting entries on January 1st, 2019. So get your best stuff ready. You've got a couple of weeks to do it. And head over to www.indieoriginalslive.com for more information on this amazing contest. It's got a separate website, indieoriginalslive.com. And you can get there from our page, which is indieoriginals.com, and all our Facebook and Instagram and other social media sites, too. We can link up to the indieoriginalslive.com for the first ever Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition. We're super stoked about this. And we're going to begin playing music from the contestants in January of 2019, right here on this show. So it's a great way to get national radio exposure, global podcast exposure, and also get your music in front of the right people. We've also got some deals as far as the prizes go for some studio time. We will probably have some cash prizes, and depending on the sponsors, we may be able to get you fast-tracked to a certain television program that we can't disclose yet. I can't talk about that yet, but we might be able. We're still working on that. I can't guarantee that, but we're hoping that's going to come through. We might be able to get you fast-tracked on a big deal television program. So stick around for that for more details. Hopefully that'll work out. The first ever Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition. Remember, check it out online, rules, regulations, all that fun stuff, www.indieoriginalslive.com.